Yeah, welcome to Dip a Toe. How you doing, Simon?
I'm doing fantastic. Welcome to Dipito Let's Talk Crypto Show, everybody. How are you, Melissa?
I'm doing fantastic for a Wednesday.
Hump
Uh, Hump
day.
day.
It's a little, just a heads up here in my neck of the world. It is a little windy out. We do have some gusts going about 45 miles an hour. So if you see me just disappear, I will grab my cell phone and I will be on location.
Nice. I want to welcome. I see. I am what I am. Is on Twitter Spaces, X Spaces right now.
That's good. Is that
Welcome.
like, are they an Eminem fan?
I don't know. I don't know.
Because that's a
Give us
song.
a.
I am is what I am. And dun, 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 dun. Yeah, that was a track. I used to
Oh,
bump that. Yeah,
if you can hear us on Spaces, can you give us a thumbs up? I am.
I am. I am
I
trying to
am.
give you a thumbs up so you can hear us.
I am trying to make sure that we don't have feedback from my phone every time. I think we're good
No,
with
no, no.
it,
I
but
think, I think, I think.
so, for those of you who normally listen to us on our own channels, and on Vita Broadcast, we have our own channel on YouTube and Rumble at Dip a Toe, and
Yes, we
also
do.
a new at Dip a Toe Twitter account, and so we are going to stream from those today, and hopefully people will find us. And so um, we're gonna we tweeted out the information that has all of the links, and then hopefully people can find us, because if they can't, but we're gonna do our show the way we do it. So we'll see what
Rolling with the
happens.
puncher. We're rolling with
Yes,
the punches each and every way, every day.
we do have someone watching on our
Content.
Dipito channel. So
Yes.
thank you
Yes.
for finding us on this new Dipito channel. So Simon, um,
Yes.
we were chatting the other day, in this morning, and figured it was appropriate to talk about the pumps and the dumps,
Pumps and the
with all of
dumps.
so there's a lot of stuff going on, a lot of pumping. So I thought we would hit the Bitcoin news, the Bitcoin price going up. We also have a video that our friend Alan Staple at the Staple Crew had some really good information that he shared, and was very inspirational to me and to you today. And so we thought we'd share that. And then, I heard BlackRock is encouraging people to put up to 28% allocation into Bitcoin lately. So I wanted to kind of see if we can see if that's true or not. Um, but yeah, so it should be a fun show.
So the BlackRock thing, are
Yeah.
they saying, "Hey, all of our customers, you should really be putting 28% of your total portfolio to Bitcoin"?
Yes. I was listening to a somebody's video today, and they said,
Hi, Lisa.
yeah, I found it. Yes. Actually, I'll go ahead
Good.
and share my screen and show you right now um what they said.
Okay.
And let's see here. Yeah, so U dot today, shocking Bitcoin strategy from BlackRock calls for 28% allocation. They allegedly, now this is what it was. They allegedly suggested a staggering 28% allocation to Bitcoin for investors' portfolios during a private event. So there was a private event held, and
Hmm.
somebody that went to that event said that, I'm going to share this whole thing, that
Yeah, yeah,
said
do it.
that it emerged from a recent private client event hosted by BlackRock, which was focused on promoting their Bitcoin ETF, IBIT, according to the information shared by investor social media platform. And during the private event, BlackRock executives expressed surprise at the strong interest in Bitcoin coming from quarters they had not anticipated. This interest from a diverse group of institutional investors and firms signals a potential change in the traditional financial sector's approach to cryptocurrency.
Melissa, your mic, at least on my end, it went a little went soft, like you had some reduction going on. Did
Oh,
you happen to
wow.
hit something? Let's try
I
that. There
did.
we go. Right there. Yeah, you're good. You're good there. Solid.
Sorry about that.
Let's do it one more
So,
time. Come on.
what? Oh, so you didn't hear
We
anything that I said?
yeah, we. Oh, it sounded like this right here.
Oh, no.
That's $14.95 at the front window. Thank you.
Son of a gun.
That's all
Well,
right. Go
so
for it.
let's take two. BlackRock, the world's largest asset manager, has allegedly recommended a bold 28% allocation to Bitcoin in investors' portfolios. This figure emerged from a recent private client event hosted by BlackRock, which was focused on promoting their Bitcoin ETF, IBIT, according to information shared by investor Fred Krueger on the X social media platform. And so it said during the private event, executives expressed surprise at the strong interest in Bitcoin coming from quarters that they had not anticipated. And the interest from a diverse group of institutional investors and firms signals a potential change in the traditional financial sector's approach to cryptocurrency. So, I mean, basically they're saying, yeah, we told you before between 1 and I think it was like 1 and 6% was the highest. Now this is alleged. This is somebody who went to a private event and said that, you know, hey, we think you should put as much as 28% in it. But boy, I tell you what, that's a big allocation to put in there.
It is a big allocation, but you know me. See, I'm always looking for what I'm gonna just call the hustle. Okay, I'm just gonna call it the hustle. Okay, the pitch. What's in it for them and not me, right? 28% for their Bitcoin ETF.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but I stopped playing Monopoly a long time ago. Then I woke up and realized that real life was also Monopoly money. I like the real thing.
A real thing, people.
Yeah.
Got the chance to buy the real
now,
thing.
I'm not shooting this down. This is a play.
Yep.
This is a play. If that is where the majority of everything is, by all means, do not turn down an opportunity to make some good gains on exposure. By all means, that sounds like a great way to do it. But if I were in that situation, I mean, 28% sounds like someone's got some sticky fingers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like why do you guys need 28%?
Right. And you know, we talked about this before, that, you know, the ETF is you don't own the Bitcoin yourself. So if you were to cash out of that ETF, they're going to give you cash, you know, US dollar or whatever denomination that you funded it with, but you're not going to get Bitcoin out of that. And so 28% there, and not to mention the fact that they're buying lots of money. They're putting lots of money and buying lots of Bitcoin every day. So what's going to happen, you know, when they own large amounts of it, but you don't own them, and they're going to sell it as a product, right, to customers who have an interest in it, but they don't actually have the Bitcoin. So bye, Felicia.
I was trying to get cute there so I could comment with some people. We're just going to put... Oh, the studio's falling apart now. See, we're talking about BlackRock now. The earth is shaking. Yes, they are buying a lot, and you do not get the real Bitcoin. Meaning, what does that mean? That means you cannot take delivery of the thing that you allegedly allocated funds to. So in a roundabout way, I gave you money and they gave you an IOU at any time redeemable for that cash afterwards. But they hold the real asset, which means they control the real asset, which means if you control it, then hey, it's your game, not anybody else's.
Right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
It's definitely it's it you should buy your own Bitcoin right now if you have the
Absolutely.
opportunity. Buy that Bitcoin. Buy that
Right. I
Bitcoin
wouldn't I
directly.
wouldn't buy today. Given the
So
price just like did a moonshot, I wouldn't do that today, but yeah, 28% of your total holdings. Yeah, that's not bad. Go digital. Go get you some digital assets. Absolutely. I like that
so
play.
you I'm still hearing your other line somehow.
Okay, well, all right. I'm
We
sorry. You
got
can just boot.
four.
Actually, you can just kick me actually because it's not going to work for this show. So get my alter ego out here. Just kick me out of the show completely. Just boot me. Yeah,
It's not letting
just
me
here.
do it.
Yeah, go
It's
ahead.
not
Yeah, go
letting
ahead
me. It's not
and
letting me kick.
it's not
It's
letting
not
you.
letting
Oh
me.
my gosh,
Uh-uh.
I have the power. I am now BlackRock on this show. Okay, I think I
You
left.
have the
There we
power.
go. Back in the drawer you go, little buddy.
Bye, Felicia.
Um, yeah. So, Bitcoin's pumped a lot. I think it's taken a few of us by a little bit of surprise. Because it's a little bit out of character
It's really
given
it's
just the heart just for the history. And I know some people out there and are really going to scream fundamentals, and I don't disagree with you, but I do know there's some other things that are coming up in the near future. And again, just to the fundamentals thing, human emotions, we have the Bitcoin halving. I do remember always a pump and then a dump around the Bitcoin halving. For
yes.
whatever reason that took place is irrelevant. It took place, it happened, and here we are again, kind of seeing the same things. I was actually looking for more of the opposite direction personally because I still feel like we have to come to this 36,000 zone, for what would be a healthy bull run, as in long, long lasted, as opposed to right now, we're almost at the we're almost testing all time highs again, right? And arguably this is the bull run, right? I mean, this is like phase 3 of the bull run. So we're at the last part of this bull run, right? The exponential growth, the moonshot, and I don't doubt that we could see 100K someday and up and beyond that. I'm not going to speculate, but my point is, in order to really have that sustainable, it's up there, it's not coming back down again level, right? We have to
Yep.
come back down and take a big breather, consolidation, and then move on. At some point, we have to do it. We have to come out. What's that? I got $5 in Bitcoin and I'm not selling it. Yeah, go Lisa,
Ah,
Brazil. That's right. That's right. You go, girl. $5. Got some loonies.
$5
She got that
Lisa.
loonies
Make
Bitcoin.
the holla,
She got
Lisa.
5 on it. She got 5 on it. Give me
Well,
some of that Satoshi's gap. Sorry.
um, so I was listening to Alan Staple. Shout out to the Staple crew.
Stable crew,
Earlier
much
today.
love. Much love for the
Mm.
stable crew.
And there's a couple parts from his video that I wanted to play that gives a little thought into this money coming into the space. And so the, I hear a lot of different people talking about what they think the impact is going to be, right? And the fact that we've seen charts from previous bull runs, and there seems to be a similarity between the way that it's going up and going down. However, we haven't had the institutional money coming in at the rate that we are now. And so I'm curious to know if how much different this bull run is really going to be, right? I don't know. I think it would have an impact just as a layman. I think it would have an impact, but uh, I thought Alan really explained things today regarding big money coming in, because I've always been in the camp where I've thought, why aren't all the rich people just buying up Bitcoin and buying up XRP and buying up all of these coins that we think are going to be very valuable in the future? And you and I had talked about the liquidity part of it. You don't want to be the big whale in a pool with no liquidity, no way to get out,
that's one
track
part.
yourself.
Yeah, because they have to get out. They're not going to get in if they can't get out. Like that's like
right.
That's like rule. That is like top shelf rule. Probably I wouldn't say rule number one, but it does jump around occasionally. That's the first thing to look at. How can I get out?
Yeah.
With everything, and how long does it take? You know.
Well,
and I know. Oh, good.
No, I mean that's what we're going to talk about too a little bit later on some of these. You know, when we really start kind of talking about the pumps and the dumps and these coins, because yeah, you can get in, but can you get out is the question. And in some of them, and I don't know. This all just kind of ties together with what he was talking about today, and I thought I would share that with everyone.
Yeah, share it.
So let me add him to the stage, and hopefully you can hear him. Here we go.
Oh. No sound.
No sound. Of course, there's no sound.
What marker are you at? 422? Here, Simon says crypto on the scene. Let's try to go to it. Oh.
I think
it's not gonna be that one. I totally just clicked our live on the Dimpo channel. My bad.
Here we go. Oops. No, we're good. I got it.
All right, let's go.
I got it. Let's see. I did it the wrong way.
It was essentially Berkshire Hathaway. He bought Bitcoin. He has been calling it baby poison and all the rest of it for 5-6 years. He's also a major contributor to Bakkt, which is a major contributor to the place out in Sparks, Nevada, which is a massive blockchain city in which they've been creating and which they've invested into that. And so when he gets on CNBC and he tells the public, oh, it's rat poison, don't buy it. Yet that's what they're doing in the background. We caught Jamie Dimon doing the same thing 5-6 years ago when he said he would fire anybody even trading in it. Now, wait a minute, he's a massive custodian. In fact, look at what he's up to. He's starting to look into his own ETF. Oh, wow. Gosh, what an amazing world we live in. Let's get back to Mr. Buffett. I believe it was somewhere in June. It was early in the year, May, June. He bought a little company that many of you may or may not remember, a little company called Apple. Everybody in the world owned Apple by the year 2016. Mr. Buffett never liked it. Mr. Buffett never liked YouTube. Mr. Buffett thought the cell phone was like a fax machine. Like, that's the mentality of a dinosaur, okay? I know, I'm an old guy. Well, you guys think way more ahead in the future than I do, but I'm way ahead of that cat, right? So let me just say this. He bought Apple in 2016. I tried to look it up as best I could. It was somewhere around $22 a share. And everybody and their brother told him he was late. I just looked it up this morning. It's $189 a share. Okay? He was late at $22 a share. He's now buying Bitcoin at $50,000. Because he's late? No. See, there's this little thing in finance that many of us understand, which is a S curve, okay, or an adoption rate. When this happens, when the saturation rate reaches a certain point, it was an inevitability. Maybe I got that one. That when it gets to a certain point, it's going to end up going to 95%. I don't need to teach that to you guys. You guys are probably smart enough to figure all that out. Well, that's when the fat cats buy. That's what I've been saying forever. It's like, what are the billionaires doing? The billionaires don't care about crypto. Well, now they're starting to care about crypto. Let's look at the last, year. Mr. Buffett's been in cash, over $100 billion in cash. You're looking at Jamie Dimon cashed out. You're looking at all these big players. Why is Jamie Dimon, at the first time in the history of over a 20-year career, selling some of his stock? Would you say that the stock's going down, or would you say that he has a better place to put his funds? See, a lot of people are taking that as, the stock market's about to crash. Maybe. I don't know. I don't have that crystal ball. But what I do know is that they're in some sort of urgency all of a sudden to purchase. They need something that they didn't have before because they're liquidating. But they don't need to run out and buy a new yacht. They already have one. They don't need a Lamborghini. They got 4 in the garage. They don't need anything. You don't sell stuff unless you need stuff. What do they need that's expensive? What do they need that they want to control? What do they need that they have to have a lot of? What is one thing that is scarce on the planet? What is one thing that is changing their financial futures? What is the one thing that they've been bad-mouthing for a decade now? That's what they're purchasing. Pretty clear to me. See, when you listen to somebody like Jamie Dimon 5 years ago when he told everybody that he'd fire somebody that ever even considered buying Bitcoin, and yet now he wants to custodial and now he wants an ETF, only we knew that in Europe he was actually buying Bitcoin at that time, and that was pretty much proven throughout the whole industry, and nobody ever calls these people on it. Why? Well, because they get a free pass in the media. They look at the fact that we saved, and I mean you and I saved Warren Buffett from bankruptcy. Look it up. I don't care if you believe me or not. Look it up. He was upside down big, okay? And they bailed him and others out. He's been a puppet on a string ever since. I'm just calling it for what it is. Why does that man get the free hall pass on everything? Don't get me started on that guy because I know a lot about that man. Maybe I'll talk deeper in my Patreon. Check it out over there. But let's just ask one big solid question for everybody. What is the one corporation on this planet, in the US, let's say, maybe not on the planet, in the US, that is tax exempt? I'm waiting. Many of you might know this. Why is Berkshire Hathaway, why is it they don't pay tax? Why is it written in their bylaw, we're the guys, we get a free pass? What part of his soul did he sell? How did he pull that off?
Same way everybody else does.
He's posing some really good questions here, and I hope that everybody is catching what he's putting down, is in terms of, the manipulation where they're telling everybody, don't buy it, it's crap, it's criminal, it's this, it's that, but yet, boom, they're either in the background buying it, and now they're buying it and they're wanting to create ETFs. So Berkshire Hathaway wants to have their own ETF. Everybody wants to have an ETF, which circles back to what you and I spoke about earlier with, it's not Bitcoin for you, the end user, the end buyer of it, of these ETFs. Yes, the spots are better than the futures, but because they have to have the Bitcoin, but they own the Bitcoin. You don't own the Bitcoin. You own an interest in the Bitcoin. There's a big difference.
You don't own anything. That's the fact. That's why they call it exposure. Yeah, it's exposure. You're exposed to the price fluctuation, and you can get out when you would like to if you have the ETF. Because in the ETF, allows you to play at a certain legal playing field. Like institutions can only invest in stocks, funds, etc. Okay, like-minded things. Well, Bitcoin is not a stock. Bitcoin is not a fund until recently, right? So now there's the Bitcoin
But they're
ETF.
they're trying to create it as if, right? They're trying to create it as if it is. That's what they're doing.
But that's how some of these, say, pensions. That's how some of these pensions will get Bitcoin, just because of how the pension is set up in a lawful legal sense. They have to abide by all the governing rules. There's my favorite stuff again. All the regulation. They're only allowed to do this. So what do these individuals do? They tell you it's crap. They get it so that they can offer it to their big clients, pensions, or big hedge fund managements, and et cetera, because they can only participate in the thing according to their licenses and agreements via stocks or funds, etc. That's the only way they can do it, And mark my words, watch out. What was it, Vanguard, that came out like right after the Bitcoin ETF kind of went live or whatever, and they said, we're not going to offer this, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, they will. They just don't have it. They just don't have it up yet. They're just saying we're not going to offer it now. Let's go back to Warren Buffett. It's rat poison. You're right. It is rat poison. It's going to kill you financially, depending on what side of the rat poison you're on. Sorry, I shouldn't have said kill. That was wrong. I didn't mean that. It's not going to end up very good for you, if in that sense. So, to your point, Melissa, what you're really trying to highlight there is the manipulation. I wouldn't call it manipulation. That's what they do. This is business. Business in just business.
Yeah,
business is not friendly. Okay, business between some people is friendly,
dog eat
but
dog.
It is, and these are the big dogs, and they play for keeps, and they literally mean that. All right.
Yeah.
And their moves are slow and calculative. They have to get into position without messing everything up that they've worked on, at the same time not disrupting everything going forward. It's almost like this. You and I, we're on a lake of ice. The ice is like an inch thick. We're out there. There's all of us everywhere, like decentralized kind of a thing. Like we're all playing, blah, 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 blah. And then here comes the big boys, right? What's that show? Stand By Me. Boom, bada, boom, bada, boom, bada, boom, right? That type of effect, right? And these guys have to go slow across the ice, and they have to like do this breaststroke. Why everything's kind of but they don't go out at high noon. Right. They go out like first thing in the morning.
They know it's frozen.
Get out there, right? Like they know it. They've scienced it, dude. They've YouTube videoed the crap out of ice in Michigan, on Lake Michigan, right? They know it. It's like, hey, Charlie, ask Jamie Dimon how far I'm out here, because damn it, this stuff's getting thin. What's going on back there? Oh, sorry, Bobby. We've all kind of decided that you're gonna have to be the one to take for the team, but don't worry, we will grab your business for pennies on the dollar, like you would have done us. We love you. Skabadoosh. Oh, there he goes. And then they'll pick up all the chips and like, okay, who's next? No, I'm not playing this game. Anyways, that's kind of what it is. These are big dogs on ice, and this is why they have to move so slow, as to not disrupt everything.
This is a perfect setup to the next little part that I wanted to share, where he addresses how these people think differently. So let's carry on with that.
I'm loving the pause space.
It's great. It's great.
They need a big pool. They need liquidity to get in and out. They also need to know it's a sure thing. They need to know it has longevity. They need to know that they're not going to look stupid when it comes out in their financials because they have to declare what they bought every year, right? In the end of the year, they're going to, well, like, I don't know if you noticed, Reddit had to come out because they want to go IPO. They had to state that they had bought Bitcoin and Ethereum. They had to state that. You have to come clean at the end of the year. Okay. Yep. You're corporate now. You're going to admit, sometimes way after you've purchased it, unfortunately, that you own Bitcoin or that one day XRP. When these people understand and it's time to get in, the floodgate opens in a way that you've never seen floodgate. You think people rush in and your UPS driver and the guy at 7-Eleven is talking about Bitcoin and oh my God, that you think that's a floodgate? No. Why don't we just look at a chart? I don't have it with me, but a chart from 2016 when Mr. Buffett bought his Apple stock. It goes vertical.
That's what, yeah.
Straight up.
So this part also was very interesting to me, Simon, that I wanted your take on it. And I'll play a little bit longer. But he's mentioning and he's making the comparison between when they bought into the Apple stock, how it had been, relatively flat. And then when they bought it, this is institutional money, it went boom, straight up. And so, but I'll keep playing.
The last, what is that? 9 years? 8 years? Last 8 years, the damn thing goes straight up. What happened in the gold ETF? Right after it passed, it went 10 months of sideways, like Bitcoin's pretty much doing right now. 10 months. And then 8 times it multiplied after that. Look at the chart. Those are the charts that Mr. Warren Buffett isn't that smart. He has 20 bean counters that are that smart. And those bean counters are looking at those kind of charts. And he sees that. And he sees his $1 billion making a big difference. Now, let's go back to Bitcoin and say, well, wait a minute. What's the difference between Apple and Bitcoin? Well, you can make as many Apple shares as you may feel like making. There's a limited supply of Bitcoin, isn't there? There's going to be a limited supply of Cardano, a limited supply of XRP. This is a whole different ball game for these people. So when these billionaires finally get it, and then when they're forced to get in, it makes me laugh when I hear other people say, "Oh yeah, well they're crushing the price to keep the price down to get a better price." These people don't need a better price. He's got $100 billion in cash laying around. You're looking for a home for it. He needs a place that's a sure thing. He needs a place that doesn't even need to go up. It just stays in the pool to where he can get his 100 billion out whenever he wants it. That's key, guys. Most of us don't understand that.
So, I thought you were going to say something, so I paused. So what he's talking about right there, is the thing that you have to stick your money somewhere into a thing. You have to lock it up. As it's known, probably at least throughout your life on being here, especially mine. Look at any Hollywood movie. What do the rich person do? Where do you find them? Oh, they're down at blah 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 auction, right? They're always buying some super old art piece or piece of history for $50 million. Why? Because they know they can resell that and get their $50 million back, right?
Yeah.
That's where we're at now. Because back to they can't just go all in and then the price goes up, exponentially. They're in a position to where they do want to park their funds. Now, Jamie Dimon personally, sell my stock over here. Yeah, I'm going to get over there. Absolutely. JP Morgan / Chase, they have to move slow, or they just go, hey, we're going to do a Bitcoin ETF, right? Yeah. Then it doesn't matter. We have to run up the price per se. I mean, not that they. I mean, we don't have to be as cautious, right? Because in a roundabout way, they're still able to take all their funds, park it in that thing.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to park it into Bitcoin. Then they're going to sell everybody else the ETF, the fake Bitcoin, and they're good because
Yeah.
behind the scenes,
Because their money is locked up in real.
they're gonna make their money right here. They're gonna make their money right there. Boop, there it goes. And in fact, it'd be more like this: money comes in, they go get Bitcoin, they control the Bitcoin.
Yeah.
But anytime if they really needed to, they could sell. They could do a deal with that hard asset, right? They could get rid of the principal, things
I
like
mean,
that. That's
I
something that
think
could be
about
done.
it,
Could.
it's like all this stuff is really complicated and delicate, right? And we
It
know
is
that
delicate.
we're in a financial transformation, out with the old, in with the new. There's so many things that are being built or are already built that are going to eliminate it, as Brian Brooks says, cryptocurrency wasn't created to replace currency. It's a bad name. Crypto seeks to replace banking. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the banking and the things that they were doing, when we didn't need bankers originally until we started using paper and notes and I owe you this and that. And then they became the intermediary. I'll take care of that for you. Let you know that Simon owes Melissa $20 and, no problem. But I'm going to charge you a fee, right? They have done that and expanded on that in so many ways, fees upon fees and all these types of things. And then you put in with the fake money, and our money is just based off of debt. The dollar that you have in your pocket is someone else's debt. That is a fact, right? So we're going to a new system here, and it's really helpful for folks if you aren't following Alan Staples' channel at the Staple Crew.
Please do
He
that.
and Brent, they are, we appreciate them. We're playing their clip, partly because to give them more exposure, which obviously we're a small little baby channel and they're huge, but we still want to promote them because they really are good people and they give good information.
What's good
But
information? You got good
it's very
information. Yeah, we're gonna throw it out there.
and this is the thing, this is why I listen to folks like this, because they do make me think. And so back to this being a very complicated, delicate situation that we're going through right now.
Uh-huh.
I have to wonder,
Excuse me.
if I'm comprehending what he's saying. They can't just go in quickly and pump the price up, because then they've trapped themselves. So they're slow and steady.
Well,
Well,
that's
they
not true.
do. Well, if they go in and they if
With
there's
Bitcoin
only a bunch,
specifically.
yeah, if there's only a bunch of whales though in there, they're looking at how can they make Bitcoin earn money for them, right? And have you and I, the little guy, not actually have access to the quote unquote real thing. We're going to sell them an ETF. We're going to sell them interest in the Bitcoin, and we're going to we're going to get our MSM machine and our quote unquote financial experts, and we're going to train our advisors to
Sure, they have to
advise
poo-poo
you
it.
now, right? They had to poo-poo it, and now they're ready for them to come in, and
Right.
they're telling their private investors right away, like, yeah, get in here because these guys got money, right? So they're slowly starting to move some portfolios, larger amounts of the portfolios, into these Bitcoin ETFs, which is gradually the price is going to go up. And just like he gave the example, when Berkshire Hathaway bought Apple, it went right up there. And so I'm wondering, because we know Bitcoin is different than a propped up stock that can have manipulated books, right?
Okay, hold on a second.
Yeah,
What you have to
yeah.
understand is Berkshire Hathaway,
Mhm.
they get. Oh, hold on, let me look at that. Oh, I probably shouldn't show that. Let's try that. They get the stock. They get the certificate. They get the thing. They get the absolute guarantee of no. We hold this thing. It's ours.
Mhm.
Right? They get that. They don't just go on to
Y-
New York Stock Exchange and go get exposure. They don't do that.
That's not what I mean, Simon.
Yeah.
What I
Yeah.
mean is the quote unquote value of the company. Look at Enron, look at some of these other companies, okay? Um, that that are they can use creative accounting for valuing their company, right? How much it's worth. There's a lot of
Right.
companies that are out there. They're too big to fail. They can't. Our whole 401ks, IRAs, defined contribution plans, you name it, are built around this stock market and these types of
Right.
investments. So
Mhm.
what I'm saying is they're built upon fake money. They're built upon debt money, not on real, not on scarce assets. It's different. Okay. They only survive if we have the money to buy the goods that they provide or that they're creating or whatever. Okay.
Okay.
Apple is only as good as as many people that can buy their products, because our system, this is my opinion, folks. So if you have a different one, I appreciate you. And, you know, I, I'm no financial expert, but this is this is my opinion, what I think. If it's such a mess that we can't afford to buy an Apple phone, right? I ain't buying an Apple phone, right? I can't afford it. Then the next guy can't afford it, and the next guy can't afford it. Well, then your company is not as valuable any longer. Now you got some overhead on things that you've produced, and you're not bringing in the revenue. Those types of situations can snowball very quickly. And what I see is over time, there's been a history of companies that will go after other companies so that they can buy them up. So they'll attack them, get people to boycott them, whatever. Then they buy that company and assume it into their own company. There's a lot of that goes on. That
Yep.
puffs up stocks. But
Sure.
if we don't have the money to buy the products, then their stock is not worth what it is. I don't care if they got a stock certificate. If they go out of
Okay. So
business,
are you saying are you saying if
I'm
we
saying
consumers
Bitcoin
don't buy the
is,
product, then there's no value there?
yeah. I mean,
Okay.
th-
Let's take.
think about it.
I'm gonna throw the curveball. Well, okay,
Yeah,
sure.
curve me.
But you're taking a Main Street thing and bringing it up to Wall Street and beyond. You're taking a Main Street thing, the iPhone, right? That's a Main Street thing. That's all it is. That's Microsoft's direct competition. That's Dell's direct competition. That's Hewlett Packard's direct competition.
Yeah.
Heck, that's Samsung's direct competition.
I'm
For
just
what?
using them. I'm just
Computers.
using them. I'm just using them as an
As
example.
an example, here's where it is. What I'm trying to get at though is the um, you don't see there's no value in the company if we don't buy their products, right? No sales, no value. Okay, cool.
The value will
Here
go
comes the
down. You
curveball.
agree that you agree
Well,
with that,
no,
right?
that's not true. That's not
The,
true.
are, well, because
That
they're
doesn't mean. I
propped
mean, it
up
just
right
means
now.
it just
That's
means we're
why.
not buying it. It just means we're not. Well, okay. Arguably, so could Bitcoin. Okay. You can prop up anything in this world as much as you want. Scarcity or not, it can be propped up to a certain level.
Okay, so well then
I'm just saying.
here's
I'm just saying. Like,
I get it. I get it. But so I do think there's a difference between a scarce asset like Bitcoin, like XRP, like gold, like silver. I mean they're not really scarce, but they are actually backed by something physical, right?
there is an alleged finite amount. There is an end of that road,
Alleged. That's
and
true. It's
and it
alleged.
is and it
And
is
it's been
controlled.
manipulated before. Right.
Well, that's the price.
Right.
Well, that's price. Remember?
You're poking holes in me. You're poking holes in
I know. I'm trying.
No,
That's how we learn.
but I still
Price
say,
does not equal value.
but I still say, okay, for a moment in time, right? If you don't have sales for whatever products that your company sells or makes or creates or whatever,
Sure.
for a period in time, sure, you
Sure.
could get propped up and your stock price will be fine. But over time, if people don't buy your products, why do companies go out of business? Okay, they have a lot of overhead that they pay for. They
Okay.
have
Right.
employees, materials, they have all
Okay.
these
So the
things.
value goes down. It tumbles. It goes away, and then a new
Yes,
one comes along, and it's the same old thing that we've always seen.
but if the people don't have the money to buy it, I guess is what I'm saying. If the people don't have
Okay.
the
Now,
money to buy
which
that,
people? I'm gonna ask you
us,
which
I,
people.
us, the
Okay.
Americans with the devalued dollar, those people, us people, the ones that have a paycheck that used to be able to buy, you know, we just looked at our water bill, like everything has gone up exponentially around here,
Right.
you know,
Right.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and food, gas, house essentials, your utilities. If you try to buy a car, if you try to buy anything, you go on vacation, whatever, every single thing is more expensive. And so people that I know are not able to afford things that they used to be able to afford compared to
Right.
generations before us. And it's getting worse. So
Right.
I look at this financial transformation as a lifeboat, so to speak, to what money that I do have to kind of stabilize it a little bit in hopes that Bitcoin and XRP and those types of things are going to be these assets that I can put some money into now to hopefully retain some value of the current amount of dollars that I have.
And that's why people buy. That's why Berkshire Hathaway parks their money in stocks like Apple. That's why Berkshire Hathaway buys Bitcoin. That's why Jamie Dimon sold his stocks. I need to put my money somewhere. I'm buying Bitcoin allegedly. I mean, he's bought Bitcoin. Like that's coming out. I'm just saying that 125 million that he did. Right. Jeff Bezos sold a whole bunch of stuff. Is he buying Bitcoin? Maybe, but you got to park the money somewhere. That's the game. That's the game.
Right.
That's the game that if certain events take place for you and I, okay, we're going to be in the. I'm not even gonna talk about the popcorn show there. By the way, oh, by the way, today's snack is popcorn, no chocolate chips. Damn, I shouldn't have gone all ADD. And there it goes. It's gone, ladies and gentlemen. I'll be here all week. With all those people, with all those individuals that got to park money, you and I in the situation that we're going to be in, hopefully, fingers crossed, the popcorn show, we're going to have to play the move the money game. Okay, we're on Main Street. Main Street don't have a problem with move the money game. We have a problem with keep the money game. That's our game we're in right now. Keep the money, keep the money, keep the money. Like that's what we're trying to do is keep the money. Well, wake up. You can't keep the money. The things you were able to afford last year, the year before, yes, you can't afford them anymore. This is a thing. Now let's go to the scenario that you were talking about earlier, Bear. One company fails and then it gets absorbed, right? That's part of the game. These people aren't getting into. I would argue right now, because I don't really like to argue, but I would say that Alan's point, people are getting these wealthy people are getting into Bitcoin. Now's the time. Why? Well, it's $60,000. That's why. Because now they can park their money and they got the big physical asset. Then these people don't just, hey, I'm gonna buy this thing to save my tuchus. No, they buy a thing and go, cool. I got it now. Hey, I'll let you use my awesome cup for like $1 a drink. How about that? It's made from the finest blah 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 in the sea of blah blah blah. Right? That's what they do. It's never just one thing. It is a purpose of I need to lock my funds up into something so at later I can liquidate the thing. You're doing the same thing now. Only the difference is you, me, and everybody else on Main Street, we're ahead of locking our funds up in this asset. Holy Jesus, Lord, bless us all. Woot woot. Yeah, yeah, back up the truck. Let's go. Right? These people might not have been late. We might think they're late, but they couldn't come in yet.
They're not. Yeah.
Yeah. They know
couldn't.
they're seeing where it goes.
Well,
Let's go back to. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I was gonna
just
steal the show for a
no,
second.
no,
Sorry.
it's absolutely fine. I'm just saying the way that Alan was explaining it made a lot of sense to me, and the reason why they didn't come in earlier, because I really was one of those people that said, hey, why don't the rich people all just come in and buy it all up? Like there's only going to be 21 million ever created with Bitcoin. Sure. And XRP has a limited supply. Like, why aren't they buying every little bit of it up? I couldn't figure that out. I didn't understand it. So
there's
make
a lot
sense
of reasons. He does mention some. One that he actually didn't mention. Mm-hmm. I think actually he did. They don't have to. Mm-hmm. They literally don't have to. They don't have to get into it. We have to. Per se. Right? We want this exponential growth, you got to jump in. You literally got to kind of jump in. You're just going to have to go it. And yeah, you're going to have to live way below your means. And you know what? On a very extreme level, if that means you still have your day job, you have a Planet Fitness gym membership or a YMCA membership, great. Everybody's living out of the Yukon Suburban or whatever for the next 3 to 5 years while we do this thing. And then we will exponentially grow after that. Mm-hmm. Do that play. You will go from the streets to the sheets to the house on the hill like that. So to speak. Those 5 years, yeah, that's really going to suck. That's a jail sentence, so to speak. It's going to be hard out there, but that's the grit that you got to show to do a play like that, because it is a play. If not, then yeah, you're going to be like everybody else out here. Here's one thing that's frustrated me my whole life. It's like we have to continuously upgrade our money. If we're not going to get when I say a better job, I mean a job that pays more, more exponentially. If we're not going to do that, then we have to find a way to make our money not just, oh, I got everything I need. Whoop, sorry. Please do not, anybody out there listening to this, please do not take this in a disrespectful way, because I am the same. That is what broke people do. I am a broke person on paper. I am, absolutely. I'm a broke person, money broke, for sure. Cash broke, right? I'm cash poor. Or broke is a state of mind. Poor is something else. I'm poor right now. Yeah. Tomorrow I'll have cash, and technically I won't be poor, but I always go back down to zero. I never continue the journey up, right? That's something that we don't do. We're always good with, I have enough beers in the fridge. I have a couple of things of steak. I need to go out this weekend because my 5 days of life I couldn't handle. Yeah. No, dude, we got to pull our pants up and suck it up, Buttercup, and say it's okay that I am pissed on a Saturday, that I'm at my job. What part don't you like? The pay sucks. Start looking for something else.
Yeah. Yeah, you're worth it.
Or go,
right?
Yeah, you're totally worth it. You're worth it to have crappy clothes or whatever. Find something that just, what are you willing to give up to have, to start with $1 million? What are you willing to give up? Ask Mr. Beast. He'll probably make a game show out of it.
In my travels today, I came across a quote, and I don't even know if I heard it or I read it, but I wrote it down. You ready for this?
Oh, come on.
Free your mind from those invisible chains. You can do it.
Damn right.
Damn right I can do it. Free your mind from those invisible chains. We have those invisible invisible change. You know, it sparked me to say that as you were talking about going to the job, and I'm thinking, you know, we go to the job 9 to 5, whatever your schedule is, and you're taken away from your people. A lot of times it's not a pleasant environment, and you might have started to like it when you first were there, and then after so much time you're like, I don't really like this so much. And it kind of what does it say? Oh, for you to know, but the invisible uncle always show up to help me stay broke yearly. Huh?
I suggest
We
you.
all have that
I
invisible uncle.
said, yeah. Well, you know what? What you got to do there is you really got to get up close and personal, and I don't mean this in a very nasty way. I just want to say that right now. But you got to get up close and snuggly close to that uncle, and you got to learn their playbook, word for word, not what you think it means or what you think they're implying. They literally lay it all out right in front of you. You just got to put your big girl
Show me.
pants on and your big boy pants on, and you got to do it. You got to, the chains, those are invisible chains.
Yeah.
This next hour is sponsored by White Russian. Go ahead and have you a White Russian courtesy.
How did you know? Yeah.
I saw you reaching. Yeah.
I admit it. I have another White Russian coming, but I don't do double. I just do a single, and it's mostly.
I don't drink anymore, but when I did, man, it was doubles, triples, and just you know what, just a little bit of ice. Call it a day.
That is it. Only on Wednesday.
Wednesdays, but that's, you know, I'm glad you actually brought that up, because the invisible chains actually really start with us. They really do. It sucks.
They do.
The job. It's like, okay, you feel like you're putting in all this effort just to go to work. That's wrong.
Yes.
You have so much more. If you just literally, if you killed all your shows that you would watch, if you would, and I know I'm going to pretty much work myself out of a job here, right here. If you would just stop watching YouTube videos and live streams, you know, don't get me wrong. It's like, you don't know what to do with your life. Hashtag, that's me.
Well,
don't know what to do with my life, right?
It depends on what you're watching, though. That's just
again,
the thing. If you're
watching
YouTube University,
I'm not.
I've learned a lot.
Hey, there is a lot of knowledge there, but you're just in the classroom. You're not out there taking action. You have to take action. You must take action. If you do not take action, then you just know a whole bunch of stuff that you're not going to do anything with. So arguably, you might as well
start a show like Dip and Toe. Unless you decide to start a show like Dip and Toe.
Well, start it, but see, this is action, right? See, this action. This is good, because it's going to lead you somewhere. Action leads you somewhere. You give yourself.
I will say this too.
Purpose.
See, you know, we were programmed from a young age through either directly or indirectly, right? Of what we're supposed to do. And a lot of times many of us work so hard to get to where we're at, to achieve that specific goal. And then you finally get there and you're in it. And then you're like, wow, is this where I'm supposed to be? Right. But so many of us get trapped in this debt-based system that we're all in. A lot of us get trapped in it to where we then end up having to, that's just the way that it is. And it makes us unhappy. We're here to tell you it doesn't have to be that way. And we do have an incredible opportunity right now. If you just give a little bit of your attention to the financial transformation that's going on right now, you can really, really turn yourself in a different direction. If you choose to do that, we can get our stress. And I know I am drinking a White Russian, but I don't have, I'm like,
liquid
I don't have
courage, sister. Liquid courage. I'm not gonna dispute liquid courage.
I am on YouTube and Rumble and on X. Most people I see you guys on X, and no one has their real picture, and they all like crazy say whatever they say. I'm out there. So yeah, I'm drinking a White Russian. But what I'm saying is we all have if we give a little bit of attention and a little bit of effort into changing our direction, even though like some of this stuff seems kind of boring or whatever, it's very I don't know, I really feel like if people gave it a little bit of attention and just dip their
Oh.
toe in, it would be so beneficial. So what?
I just
What was
read your
the
comment.
O? What was the O?
I read
My
your comment.
Oh, my O comment.
Crunch, crunch, crunch.
All right, so we talked about the BlackRock encouraging 28%. We talked about Alan's clips. What I wanted to pivot towards, unless you wanted to continue, or unless somebody is listening and wants to throw in a comment before we move on, but Bitcoin's pumping, baby. It's pumping.
It is
And
pumping.
it's setting up. It's setting up the alts. And let's see, dip your toe and have a whole lot of patience. Amen for you to know. Yes. Yeah, he's talking about the dipping your toe and having a lot of patience, because those of us that have been in this space for a while, you know, you hear a bunch of the YouTubers and the people on X, and they always have, you know, this price is going to be this by this date and all of this kind of stuff. Don't get drawn into specific dates. Like Simon and I have said in earlier shows, research the projects, know what you hold, understand if it solves a real world issue, a real world problem, that they're going to fix and they're going to improve on people's lives. Those projects are going to have something. The projects where you don't know what they do, it doesn't serve a purpose at all. Yeah, could you get lucky and get a pump and dump coin? Probably, but it's kind of hard. I don't think it's super easy for the layman to go in and get in. I don't know. What do you think about that, Simon? I'm rambling.
Well, I mean, yeah, you
I'm
gotta
being
do some
chaotic.
No, do research, but I'm gonna be honest. Research bores the hell out of people. So it does.
Well,
it just does. Those are facts, right? I know where you're.
I disagree, though. I disagree. You have to do research. You have this is, we said this before in this show, taking the bull by the horns, and with this crypto, this ain't for no sissies, right?
You're right.
Being part of the crypto is not for no sissies. You got to do your own research.
And see, this is where why?
Well, number one, so here's my reason. Why do you have
to do your own research?
Why do I have to do my own research? Because I am responsible for my choices. Okay. I don't want to look at you, have Lisa, or for you to know, or anybody else tell me, buy this coin, right? Because I could be easily influenced by that. And then if it doesn't do well, then I'm pissed off because somebody told me to buy this coin and it sucked and I lost my money. All right. Okay. If I do my own research and I understand, or I attempt to understand what kind of problem they're attempting to solve, and I investigate the company itself, the project itself, who they're connected with, and I start to see a pattern of companies that have a little salt to them, right? A little bit of clout, moving in that kind of direction, then I feel more confident in putting money into it. And if I make the decision to purchase something, it's on me. And the other reason, other pro looking in and doing your own research, is you don't get as stressed out if you are comfortable with what you hold. If you don't understand what you're invested in, you're going to listen to all different kinds of people and you're going to be easily swayed. That's my opinion on that. If you just come in here blindly you don't do any of your own research, and you just listen to what all these different people are shouting at the rooftops. And as the bull run drums on, they get louder and louder, and people get confused, and they make
Sure.
rash decisions, and they lose their money. That is why
Yes, they do.
I'm an advocate for, I'm not saying you're not going to spend as many hours maybe as I do, because I am kind of a nerd to do it. But
that's
if
that's what
you're,
that's the point I want to get at right
you gotta
there.
you gotta take responsibility though, Simon, because the whole reason like our money got all screwed up in the first place, we kind of weren't paying attention. We were too trusting. We weren't even thinking
I
about
hear
what
that.
all this stuff meant. So that's where I'm at.
Okay, I'm just saying research is boring as hell, and that's why most people don't do it. That was it. I
Lisa
ain't no
said, "I
sissy.
ain't no sissy."
So, but let's touch on before we get in the this is pump and dumps, but I really just wanted to on the pumps and the dump stuff. I don't want to talk about any coin that is being shouted at the rooftops of this is going to be the next millionaire coin. That's not what I want to talk about. I only want to talk about one coin tonight that's being pumped, and you better watch out for the dump because it happens all the damn time. I don't care what
That's
coin
what
it
I'm
is,
excited.
and I really don't. I don't really care how much research you've done into a project. Okay, I think it's good that you're doing that, but you have to recognize the conditions of the sea, right? You know, there's a reason and a season, always
Yeah,
for all of it. Right now,
I'm excited
Bitcoin's up.
for you to explain
Bitcoin's
this.
Well, Bitcoin just hey, it did a nice, beautiful shot to 61,000, 64,000 actually. What happened? Instantly, YouTube blew up. Cell phone wouldn't stop buzzing. Bzz, 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 bzz. All the big, I'm gonna say big dogs. I'd say heavy influencers. All the big ones. I'm not gonna mention names because I'll go on a tangent. That's because that's who I am. I'll go on a tangent, and it's not that I have any animosity towards them as at all. What I just found was disgusting. It's like, hey, Bitcoin goes 64,000. Oh my God, it's also the best, the best, the best, the best. It's like, dude, for me, I go click. I'm not watching your channel. In fact, I'm not even going to give you a thumbs up out of respect for a fellow influencer because you're pumping up the pump. Yeah, it's pumping. Why?
Yes. Yep.
Because that's what the market is dictating. And I don't care what news is out there. It's just news. It's just somebody saying something of such.
Can I say one?
Others are coming
Can I
in.
say one thing?
Say what?
So what I noticed, Simon, in the past, the past bull market, I entered, I think, into like when the prices were already up, right? And then of course there was the bear market time. And what I really noticed, and this is why part of the reason for this show and to help the new people, because there's a lot of new people coming into this space in the kind of similar conditions that when I came in, right? What I noticed was during the bear market, they kind of took a break from their channel. They didn't say, even
Sure.
private groups, nobody kind of talked. Nobody was talking, whatever.
Right.
Soon as it starts pumping again, it's blah, blah, blah. Just like you said, oh, it's screaming from the rooftops. What were we doing?
Yeah.
We were still talking. We were still educating ourselves. We were still doing things. Some of these influencers, that's when they start talking. That's when they start being super loud. Those are the people that are aiming to influence the newbies that are coming in, or to shake the people that have been holding on for a long time.
I mean, possibly. I look at maybe a slightly different view because some of the people that they've been in the game for a while, yep, they're talking about Bitcoin because just like any other news channel, that's what's hot today. And if you're a crypto news channel, that's what you're going to do. You're going to talk about what's hot, what's the buzz, whatever. You are the brand new media. And whatever little nuggets of information you get out there, you just run with it. Or at least that's what it seems like. When I hear the constant chatter of, it's pumping,
Yes.
I'm just like, yep, it is. You guys aren't really talking about the other side of that, though. What's the other side of the pumping? The dumping. You know, the dumping. So, you know, it's like I'm looking at Bitcoin right now, 61,000 change. Oh my gosh, dude, 100K, dude, we're going there tomorrow. Promise. Pinky swear, it's going down. I went and spoke to the crypto prophets on Mount Cryptopius, right? I talked to them, right? It's like, yeah, maybe, but it ain't gonna happen today. And I'm definitely looking for a drop down. I'm looking for a sell off here. And if we keep going, I'm still looking for a sell off. We have to have a sell off. It must happen. It doesn't just go and 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 go. I don't care how
Do you
scarcity it is.
have
Eventually,
a
there's a
chart
sell off.
example? Do you have a chart example that you can show us by any chance? Or, I mean, and explain the whole concept of, you know, what must go up or what goes up must come down, and the pump.
Yeah,
whole
I don't know what old guy
concept
said that, but they're really, really smart. Let's do that one. Share. Oh wait, no, don't do that. Get rid of that. I want to try something. Hold on. Let's try this move, and then we're going to do, I think, this one. Ta-da! But that's not going to work for the people out there, is it?
No, I'm gonna.
All right.
Can I just add it to the stage?
Bring me, yeah, do that.
And then I'm gonna do this.
Can I
Okay.
do it now? Okay. Cool. So here we are. We're looking at the Bitcoin. We're looking at a weekly chart. Each one of these little candlesticks here, I'm zooming in. Each one of these candlesticks is a week of time, a 7-day period. So what I'm talking about is stuff like this. We went up, we came down. We went up, we came down again. We went up, we coming down. I'm looking for this down. I have yet to actually see our down. This is not it. I'm looking for a bigger down. Probably 40%. So there you go.
And why?
38K
Can you
again.
explain why? Why? Like, okay, so you're going back through history and you're showing.
Right here. Look here. Here's 50% drop. Right. Here's and it's like, Simon, you're just pulling.
And how
out your
many?
butt. It's
And
like,
how
no,
much?
this is where it settled.
How much time?
This is where
And how much time did that take to do that?
44 weeks there. This is after what I'm actually, in all fairness, this was where we're at right now. Okay. This right here, this is a nice, healthy
Yeah.
bull
Wow.
run.
Wow. Wow.
Very beautiful. Let's look at that just for a moment. Look at this nice look. Here's our correction. We went up, we went sideways, we went up again, we came back down. We retested. This is what I'm looking for. And you guys might not be able to really see it. We went up and had a bull run. Then we had our bear market, right? So this is our, get rid of the spaghetti sauce. Dang. This downward is our bear market, right? And then we flattened out, we stabilized again. Well, by the way, right on top of our run up before that. And then we got out of our bear market.
Crypto professors in the house.
What's good, crypto professor? Oh my gosh, this is get rid of that. And then we came up, we got out of our bear market, we stabilized. This is good. This is consolidation. We like a little sideways action. Giggity.
Can you do one thing for me? Can you
Sure, I can
explain
try.
when you said? Can you explain the term support and the term consolidation for the folks that don't know what that means?
Yeah, let me hold on. I'm gonna actually have to stop sharing for just a moment. Let me get rid of some spaghetti sauce here. I got a lot of lines on here that are gonna confuse the crap out of everybody. Let's get rid of this. No, that's okay. We can keep that. Let's get rid of that. Delete trash cans. Okay, cool. Here we go. Where'd you go? Oh, you're still there.
Yeah, I'm still here.
Present. Share.
Present.
Entire window. That one. Share it. Okay, add me to the stream.
There we go.
Thank you. Okay. Let's grab my magic marker. So, bear market. Then we went sideways, right? This is our kind of a consolidation. Hey, we found our bottom. Okay, our floor. Then here, let me get rid of that.
Can I ask one question? Another question?
You can ask. Yeah, go ahead.
So when you find the floor, when you're finding the bottom, is there a certain amount of weeks that that constitute a bottom that people feel comfortable? Is there a consensus on that length of time?
Not like a time frame, but you go back and you look at your history. See that right there?
Yes.
See my little, yeah, okay. Now, look at this right here. I'm just gonna draw a big old fatty line. See, we're in the zone, and I do mean literally a zone. Rectangle, 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 rectangle. Where's my rectangles? Oh, it's on here. There's pink. So let's go from here down to here. The reason why I chose that spot is based on this guy right here. That low, I'm not taking this low, and I'm also matching it up with, and I'll get rid of my little guy right here. Go away, buddy. See ya. See if you can see. Let me zoom in a little bit more so everybody can see. I'm almost touching the top of this wick right here. So you can see that we bounced around in this channel for a while, and then we broke out. So this constitutes sideways. We built structure. We built structure. Brush, please. We built our structure right here. Our new bottom on top of our an old peak. This is a stair step. So we went up, we came down, we went up again, we came down, and we retested. We retested and built our old high. We came down and retested our what this would be is support. So we retested it. We built the floor on support, created support. Now we have a floor support, and then we took off again. And we took off here. Let me delete some things real quick. Deleting some stuff as we go along.
This is a really good example. I see other people do this, but I don't ever get to ask them questions at the time.
Yeah,
so
ask away. Okay, so this bear market took a while. Let's grab the old measuring stick here. Let's go from peak right here all the way over to, I'm just going to call right there where we started going sideways. That took 59 weeks, a year and a month. Is that right? No, a year and 6 weeks. No, it took us a year and 6 weeks to get to this level, right? To get to right there. That's how long it took. How much do we totally go down? Now I am comparing right now a bull run and then a bear market, right? And then what we're in right now, this right here is, you guys are about to see some crazy spaghetti sauce right here. And I do apologize.
No,
let me see if I can get rid of some. Dink. Here, I'll just do this. Pink. Right here. That's what this is right here. This is our floor. How do I know? I can go all the way back. Hey, look at this guy way over there. Let me get my rectangle out here. You're about to see some spaghetti sauce here, and I do apologize.
No, it's fine.
Can you kind of see that? I know it's like a lot going on here. I look at this all the time. I draw lots of things.
No, it's fine. And so basically you kind of throw out the what do they call it, anomaly or whatever. Anomaly.
Hey, if you can say that 10 times fast, dude, I'll buy you dinner.
I can't say it, but you
all right.
throw out,
if you can do it 5 times, if you do it 5 times fast, I'll buy you lunch.
An anomaly.
I love it. Thank you for participating. We'll see you next week. Okay, so here's our recent floor, right? Happened at Christmas of 2022. This was the time frame for you to really buy, and then we took off again. Can you see that?
Yes.
right? This
Yes.
was Christmas time, 2022, and then we started to come out the rat hole. 2023 kind of take place. This was mid 2023, spring actually, spring, April. Look what happens in April. Look at this is April right here. We went down.
Down.
We corrected a little bit, right? We corrected a little bit. Okay. We're literally same time frame, man. We're about to March, April. Where's the come down? Are we going to come down to here and stop? Are we going to continue? Those are all questions, but I'm literally looking for this zone as of right now in this moment. Give me my rectangle. I'm looking for this right about here. And if we continue, then 32. If we continue, 32K is a possibility. But right now, we're talking again 38K all the way down to about 35K. Even though that's not 35K there, but that's really my zone. That's what I'm looking for. When I mean zone, we get one of these candlesticks that goes in here, man. You better just pull the trigger, buy everything you want, whatever you can on the shelf. Just go buy it. Don't wait till payday, borrow something, pawn something. No, I'm kidding. Don't do that.
Not
That's what I would
financial
do.
advice.
Yeah, not financial advice, not life advice, not life coaching advice, but I'm just trying to put emphasis on this is your last chance at the romance, right? This is it. This is the last song of the night for you to ask that girl to dance with you, or gentleman, whichever you prefer.
Right.
So let's go back to our other shining old example. So we have our floor, we went up, we came down, and look at this. We got another support right there. Right here. More support. For us to come down and retest. We bounced off, had a rally, we went down, and we retested this area again. Give me my brush.
Lisa says at about 35,000 ?
Yeah, that's that would be, I would consider a low or a retest. That would be like a candle wick like this one right here, Lisa. Let me exit out of this. No, that's not what I want. I want this right here. Thank you.
I'm going to throw this at you
Right.
too.
Right here. See this wick right here?
Yes.
Do you see that? Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. This this could be like, let's just say this end of the body of this candlestick is 37K, and then we wick down super fast while we were all sleeping, and it hit 35K, and then it took off. And that's exactly what this is. Whoop! See ya. Of course,
That's
we
what
are looking
usually
at
happens, right?
Yeah, that's right. It is a whoop! See ya. Like John Madden would always say that. Whoop!
Which is why
Well,
it's good to dollar cost average if you believe in the asset that you're purchasing.
Absolutely. Like this right here, if you're looking at a chart, you've been like, man, I've been watching Bitcoin go down for weeks now. Hey, we're leveling out a little bit. Hey, I might buy some. Oh, we took a plunge. Okay, cool. I'll buy more. When your favorite item that you go to the grocery store for is on sale, you load up. You back up the truck. You're willing to break out the credit card and spend a little extra money on something.
Right.
So
Lisa says,
here,
I was verifying if that's what you meant. My last chance, it was at 35,000.
I'm looking for another retest at 35,000. So I am still of the mindset that us going back down to 38 to 35,000 range between those prices is still a very strong possibility. A very strong possibility for us to do that.
I'm going to throw something else at you.
Come on, curveball sister, let's go.
So For You to Know had said the halving is on the way, and yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
How do you think the halving is going to play out in this whole scenario?
Let's go. Hey, you got your awesome smart machine there. Could you find me? Would you mind looking up for me, Melissa, when the actual last halving was? I could say 4 years ago, but I want a specific date if you could find that out.
Yep.
And then we'll go look at the charts. And we'll see what happened before and what happened after. And then we'll try to maybe look another 4 years behind that.
The last Bitcoin halving occurred on May 11th, 2020,
May
resulting
11th.
in a block reward of 6.25 Bitcoin. The next halving is expected to occur in April 2024, reducing the block reward from 6.25 BTC to 3.125 BTC. The exact date for the next halving is unknown, but it is projected to occur after mining the 840,000th block since the last halving. So, and it also goes on to say the tightening supply provided a bullish scenario for the asset, where the coin's price surged from $6,877 on April 11th, a month before the halving, to $8,881 at the time of the event itself. So,
Okay, so right
just a
here,
little
I want to
history.
now. You can say what you want. What was going on in the world? You can say whatever you want, because I know right here, March 11, 2020. Right, we had the big old vid scare. However, only 2 months later was the halvening. This is when it happened. This support. Hey, we came out of our. Hey, we went up. We got out of our bear market, phase one of the bull run. We came down. We built some support here, right? Before the halvening. Now, this is a few months before the halvening, about 4. We went up, and this is what I like to call a head fake. We went up, and we came back down. I'm literally looking for this up to happen. We're in this right now. We're going up, 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 up with Bitcoin. We're going. We're going on up. And then, before the halvening, drop off. And then a buyback and continue on. So, what do I think is going to happen? See ya. I think we're going to come back down. That's what I think. That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for more of that than us to continue on. And to be quite honest, the more we go up, ask any when I say seasoned, I don't mean professional trader. I mean someone that's just traded over time. We keep doing this move right here with Bitcoin. This right here, this is scary. This is almost what I would call a moonshot. Right? Okay, we took a break on a few days and then we went off again. Whoa. That's a lot. And are we going to continue to keep going up? If we keep going up, we're not building again structure. Right? This is structure. This is good structure. I like this. This is excellent structure. A lot of history here, a lot of support. Right here. This guy plus all these fellers. That's great. Let's go back a little bit more. In my green box right here. All this can work. All this as support. As a floor for Bitcoin to come back down to. Now, let's move into something else real quick. I say real quick. Let me get rid of all my awesome drawings.
So
like
Lisa says, and so the halving means they cut the supply of Bitcoin in half.
Yes, that means that'd be like your pay at your job just got cut in half. How valuable are those dollars now? Very valuable. But there's a play that happens. This is an opportune moment for one Bitcoin mining company to put the other one out of business. Because miners, at least back in the day, I don't know if that holds true today because that whole industry has exponentially grown. But they still have bills to pay. Well, how do they pay their bills? They sell their asset. They sell their asset to private dealers, right?
Well, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that happens. I'm not saying that's exactly what they do the whole time. I don't know the ongoings of miners to doing private deals, but I'm sure Christy could have some insightfulness on that. But I do know back in the 2019 bull, or not 2019, this bull run right here, the halvening that happened before this, a lot of people got wrecked. A lot of miners got wrecked because the market dumped on them. So, so what happened there? That means that your Bitcoin wasn't worth very much anymore, and now you had to sell more Bitcoin to pay your bills. Even like right here, this is a classic example. This could have wrecked a whole bunch of people just before the halving. Hey, I got bills due. Just before the halving, just before you're about to get paid less. So think about this for a second. Here's something interesting. You were like, oh my gosh, we're getting 12 Bitcoins right here. Cool. We can pay the bills at $10,000. So let's see. I made 12 Bitcoin. That's $120,000 in the last 10 minutes. Ooh, I'm doing good. I can pay the bills. Okay, Fred. Hey, let's set it up for 2 weeks out, and then we'll pay our bills. And we'll sell the Bitcoin. We'll pay our bills. Okay. Whoop. Uh-oh. Now your Bitcoin's only worth $4,600. That's not good.
No, that's
You just
not
lost
good.
60%. So now you have to sell more Bitcoin to meet your financial obligations. Then the price, hey, look, it goes back up. And what's happening right here? Now you're getting half of the Bitcoin. So you were getting 12, now you're getting 6. 6 times, so instead of 120,000, now you're only getting 60,000 a month at this price. Right? So that is a thing. I'm not saying it happens all the time or anything like that, because again, I don't know a lot of miners out there, but that is a thing. That's business. That's cutthroat business. That's your market manipulation. That's dirty business, if you want to call it that, because that's kind of what it is. But those things can happen. Now, you could say, hey man, Simon, this was COVID, that's why it's happened. It's like, no, markets dump because markets dump. Tell me why this happened.
Why?
Right? You're profit taking. Why did this happen? Hey, profit taking, and I know some things are about to hit the fan. This is profit taking. But it's not individuals. It's not individuals that are doing the profit taking per se. Let me get out of this. Most stuff is done by computers. Let me go back to my 1 week chart so I can illustrate something else here. Oh my gosh, I got to quit drawing all over my stuff. Just knock it off. I know. God dang, man. Stop it. You're such a kid.
I just wanted to mention that the darn space is dumped. So if anybody was listening, I don't understand what happened.
Probably they're like Simon's talking about charts again. We got to abandon ship because we can't see anything.
Apparently. So I'm just going to abandon the I guess I'm going to abandon the spaces thing because it's not working no matter what I do.
That's too bad. That really is too bad.
Is.
Look here. So here's how here's a trading strategy with computers. Okay, bots actually. Not relative to my bot, or not that it's my bot, but the auto crypto investor. But right here, you have like little grids, little points that you want. The bot will choose to do an action based on whatever strategy you did. But your initial strategy is, where do you want to start? I want you to start right here. And I want you to get me to over here. I don't care how you do it, but you have 10 years to do it. So I want my original investment to start here, and then in 10 years, I want it to be up over here. That's the value of the thing I want. And there it is. It's played out. It goes up. It comes down. Okay, cool. This was a good exit point. It goes up. Comes down. Hey, we exited here. We rebought here. So, we moved it back up. We exited here. We rebought here. And in fact, you can see all the grid lines right here. Bam, 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 bam. It's a grid strategy.
Those grids that you're showing on the far left, how far back is that? Where can you go as far back as can you go as far back as the 2020 halving just to show what it looked like when that happened, or is that too far back?
Oh no, this is the whole thing. I'm all the way back to September 5th, 2011. Right here. This is Bitcoin in its entirety almost.
All right. So what can you show me the 2020 halvening? Just because a lot of people are super excited about the halvening, right?
Here's the May 11th right here. This green candle right there. I'll zoom in more. You said May 11th, 2020. This is it right here. This guy right here. That's it.
So that was yes. Interesting.
Okay. So that's it, right? We leveled back.
It was climbing back up before the halvening. It was climbing back up from the low. It was
from the low, but look what it was doing prior to that. It ran up. This constitutes as a run up. In fact, we could have been going more and more, and then a drop, right? Those that's all speculation at that point. But yes. And then after the halvening, consolidation. Okay, let's keep on moving, baby. Let's go. We're out of here. You know those types of events.
So now can you tie this into how this relates to the altcoins? Because when how does that relate to the altcoins? I guess that would be just a
Bitcoin and the altcoins. Let's do this before I leave. Actually, let's go take just a quick look at what's happened recently. Get rid of all my spaghetti sauce there. Okay, so let me go to a daily chart. So I want you guys to focus on, we ran up a little bit. This is kind of healthy. We're getting a little choppy here. We are flattening out and we're getting ready for a takeoff. But that's because we flatten out doesn't necessarily mean we're getting ready for a takeoff. I just want that abundantly clear. I want you just to look at this structure here and what we did. Okay? Let's go in a little deeper, actually. We'll go to a 12-hour chart. No, let's go a little bit more. 4-hour chart. There we go. This looks a little better. So went up, sideways, went up again. We stair-stepped. That's Bitcoin, USDC, or USD. Let's go to Theta. Up, sideways, up. Now, look, Theta's starting to go down a little bit, right? Altcoin, right? Altcoin. But Theta has the same pattern relatively to Bitcoin, right? Okay, now I'm going to go to, that's not a very fair assessment because XRP always.
I'm all do XRP.
I know. Well, it's not very, look, here's a slightly different pattern, but here's our little peak.
Yeah.
We had a little run up there, but again, different. Let me go to Doge. I believe Doge was one that bloomed late.
Actually, Lisa says Doge was my research, but about 40 like 2 years ago, and it's pumping to 9 because now. But now,
yeah, exactly. Here's your pump, but I want you to look at the pattern and how it's different.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so when I see a coin like Bitcoin pump first, and let's try to take a timestamp here. 28th at 1600, 28th at 1200, 28 at 8 a.m. Okay, let's go back to Bitcoin. Thank you. Bitcoin. Okay, 1600. Oh, what happened? 1600, 1200, 800. There's a market pump, but look what happened before all that. Look at this move here. What I really like to look for is all this stuff right here. The reason why I like to look at this is I will try to go find a coin that has yet to make this move. What do I mean by that? Right? I'm looking for that move. I'm looking for, well, how much did Bitcoin move in, say, since the 6th? Let's just call it the 6th. from this zone right here. How much? 48% right there. That's how much it's gained. So now I'll try to go see if other coins, Theta is not a fair example, but we could do it, from the 6th. Oh. No, stupid. Learn how to spell. There you go. Let's go find the 6th. Now, this is going to be exponential. This is going to be a 200% growth. 140.
Wow.
140%. You're like, wow, that's a lot, Simon. It's like, yeah, well, this coin was only worth 94 cents. Doesn't take a lot to move that. But what I'm looking for overall, let's go back all the way back to, I'm going to go to a daily chart here just real quick. I want to go back to, where's Christmas? Where is Christmas? Is that Christmas? No, that's 23. That's before we took off. Excuse me. Yeah. Okay, so this is 2023, right?
You can't record it on a live cam.
It's all right. No. It's good. So this is October to Christmas before we took off. But back in 2022 Christmas, where Bitcoin started to make the turn, Christmas 2022, right here. That right there. That's the difference between this coin was still going down.
W.
Yeah, so it is a W, a little one. It ran up, and guess what? Gave you the head fake. We weren't done yet. We were still coming down to where this little zone right here goes all the way over. Oh, I deleted my stuff. Fun.
Yep.
Goes all the way over to here.
It's interesting to see it, live.
Yeah. So these are things that I look for. What's Bitcoin doing now? What are some other altcoins doing later? Because eventually, what happens to Bitcoin will happen to the others. And here it is. Here's that move that Bitcoin did, and it's the same move that Theta did. Let's go back to Bitcoin again, and I mean by recent move. Get rid of the spaghetti sauce. I say get rid of the spaghetti sauce, please. Thank you. This move. This right here.
Yeah.
That's the same time frame. Let's go look at XRP, see what XRP is doing, even though I already know it's not doing too much. For different reasons.
Right.
Look, let's turn on the spaghetti on this one. Bam. Here's this white line is a trend line.
Wow.
This is kind of like hey, we're going up. We came back up. No, we went down. Draw another line. Now we're in what's called a wedge pattern. So I have a green. This is like a micro wedge, so to speak. The green line. Then I have a kind of a medium wedge from this point. And what these are, as far as the green, the yellow, and even the red, those are resistant points that we have to break through and then build support on top of that. So let's say XRP, and I know I'm sidestepping here, but let's say XRP broke through that green line. We would have to at least stay above the green line for a little while. And then I'm looking for some yellow action. And then we could go this way, and then we kind of, okay, yep. And we hit our white line, and boom. It's easier to break through the resistance the tighter we get into the wedge. Right?
But
The smaller the pocket.
but when we do hit that line and bounce up, it could be a pretty nice pump.
it'll be a good day, but you want to see, dang it. You want to see good, healthy structure. So once we break through this red line, we still have a couple things to battle, which are these two resistant points, right? Because these are old highs. So for us to we broke through the red. Let's say We broke through green, broke through yellow, played around a little bit, and then we broke through the red. Well, we'd still have to break through this point right here.
Mm-hmm.
And this guy is somewhere in there. As you can see, I got my purple line at the top.
Yeah.
Right? So we could break through, and we're playing around in this zone now, and then we'll break through, support, and then see you later. We're off to the races again. We're in new territory, so to speak. But that's not why we came to look at XRP. We came to look at XRP to study the same move, to see if it did anything, to see if it pumped. What's XRP doing? Why? Why is because the market movers don't want this to go yet. That's my own opinion. But we did have a little pump. And here's what I want to talk about. Because if you're just looking at the price on your phone, oh, hey, man, XRP 2 days ago was 54 cents. And then the next day you're like, oh, my gosh, dude, 58 cents, dude, we're going to moon. Yeah. Look at this red candle. They literally took it away from you.
Yeah.
Down to 53 cents, and then it came back. And now we're floating. We're floating here. We're showing some okay support as far as price. Right
and
now, that's today.
And that can be manipulated by what we were talking about last week with the buy and sell walls, right?
Oh, yeah. Well, yes. Your buy and sell walls. Your buy and sell walls are going to be your support or resistance in a manner different way. But yes, your price manipulation. Yeah, they could stifle a price up here. They could, have a big fat order of $200 million worth of XRP. They're gonna be like, well, most people that have money are like, I'm not gonna buy all that. I'm not ready to utilize that yet, right? And then they could have like a buy order, a fat buy order for the same price, and same people are gonna be like, well, I'm not gonna sell down here. Are you, Melissa? Are you gonna sell down at 51 cents? No. Right? Do you think a very wealthy person is going to sell their whole bag or any of their bag at this price? Not a chance. They're not going to do that. This is mostly computers doing this on a strategy.
Mm-hmm.
There is the occasional whale, but no, they use technology. So these are things that I look at when I'm looking at a chart. And you guys want to do your own research on a coin, I implore you to do that. But I would say come and learn a chart. Come and learn this stuff. And what I mean by learn, just look at this. Do you see any patterns? Do you see any patterns here? This is XRP, by the way, for its alleged entirety since it was being tracked by tradingview.com. So Monday, July 29th, 2013. Do you see anything here, Melissa? Anything to note?
I mean, I guess the where it started out is kind of it had its down, same,
right
and then you go
and
up,
and then a boom.
Yep, and then it has the same kind of
right. Look at this
line going down
right there.
Yeah.
Here I can delete all this. Bye. See ya. Let's get rid of all these guys. Ooh, windstorm's coming. Same pattern, right?
Yep.
How long did this take, by the way? Let's go look. Let's break out the ruler. How long before you pumped? 189 weeks, give or take. We'll call it 187. Ooh, that's a killer.
Oh, 187.
Okay. Pow, pow. 321 bars. Long time. But where is 187 on this thing? Where is it? Right here. Wonder what happened in this time frame. Can you see that July 21 crap? Can you see that July 21 crap right there? July 21?
July 21.
When was the suit?
I'm looking. It was.
It's possible. This repetitive pattern, actually timing.
Definitely.
But this is happening.
Because they also took them off, Yeah. Oh,
At any
Investopedia
rate,
says the timing for Ripple Labs was terrible. The suit was filed just ahead of the largest bull market in cryptocurrency history, when
that's right.
Bitcoin eventually soared to highs above 64,000 per token in 2021. The
Yeah,
XRP
right
price
here.
remained depressed throughout that rally, while investors spooked by the SEC court case. Yeah, that was
But was it really? See, this is where I put on my tinfoil hat. Was this really? Because all I see is we hit another resistant point and we kept on playing the game. Whatever happened in the real world that still happened in the real world, we were in the peak of our bull run. They literally said it. Let's go back to XRP.
well, but if
BTC.
you couldn't buy it from very, very few places, and there was all this
Again,
negative connotation against it, people weren't going to buy it.
people definitely bought it, but they couldn't have a whole bunch of people buy it. Why not? Because they need it. Otherwise, that means they are going to have to buy it from you, and they don't want to do that.
Yeah, there's a lot of
2020
interesting
right here.
theories.
Well, here it is. What happened? I'm sorry. Did Bitcoin go in court? Here's your down. Did Bitcoin go in court? No. Did we had a nice little double tap rally. Cycle's over. We went down. See, this is where, like, for me, like, I hear all the good stuff out there, all the fundamentals, but I come back and I look at a chart, and I'm like, the facts are all in here, all of them. How it might play out could be slightly different, but all the facts are in here. All your history, it's right here. When you look at the big picture.
Well, yes, but the history is there, right? Based on action, people buying
Starting
and
here,
selling. People buying and
not
selling,
people.
correct? Well, bots, whatever you want to call it, the activity and
right, activity, but the bots had a goal to start from here and go to there.
So your
Or up
speculation
here.
would be that if there was no lawsuit against Ripple and XRP it wouldn't have mattered. And I don't I don't subscribe to that. I think it did have an impact on Ripple and
I'm not
XRP.
saying it didn't. I'm not saying it doesn't have an impact. I'm saying it's not the root cause. We were already at our peak for the bull market. Peak down. Peak down. Let's go to XRP land. XRP USD. Peak down. Peak down. Even a little peak down. Peak down, peak down, peak down. For me, that's the same thing. I don't care what's going on in the world. That's the play.
Interesting.
Were all these institutions ready to buy from retail? Were they all signed up? Did Ripple had all of its partnerships good to go, lock, stock, and barrel like they do now? Not a chance. Was XRP touted to actually be used at the Main Street level like it is right now? Nope. There are fundamentals. I don't disagree with that. But this is a calculated move. This, where you hear some people go, well, how much is XRP going to be? I mean, you can just literally pull a distance, and if the pattern repeats itself, there's your move. Go right there. You have a potential for your $300 Bitcoin. Now, that's a pretty big distance. I more subscribe to
your $300 XRP.
or XRP. Sorry, my bad. $300 Bitcoin would be a blessing for all of us. Woohoo!
Yeah, right.
Now, if we did that full move right here, that full thing, oh my gosh! But I'm like, no, they'll probably go conservative. They'll probably go for the last run that they did, right? They'll go right here. There's your $7. I would actually prescribe more to a 15 myself.
So
But
like
that's
15 and then it's got to go through a cycle again, and then
Yeah,
you
that's
take
right.
it again, and then
Yep.
so can you just tell me if it did the 15, then from the 15 where do you see it going? From, like if it repeated its cycle again, so we have to wait.
Okay, here you could speculate.
We're speculating, not financial advice, just looking at the chart, since I actually have somebody that knows what they're looking at.
So let's go.
I can ask a question.
Oh, I don't have them all, but let's go to 15. Oh man, who did I have on before? Was it you guys? I think it was. Okay, let's go there.
I just realized it's
missing
9
one.
o'clock.
Is it? Are we done?
Yeah.
Oh gosh, oops, my bad.
We're almost done, but I want this question answered before we go.
Simon, tell me where the F we're going. Okay, if we went up to, again, I'm going to find that 15. Right there. Okay. God, you know what? Honestly, we could retest $3 again. We could. But I would say, honestly, I could see us initially settling back down. Why would we have to go to $3 again? Because that's our old high.
Yeah.
You know, that would be a very ultimate low. Let's look at the history, though. XRP doesn't seem to test its old lows except for right here, or old highs. Nothing. This was, here, we could do one of these right here. Look at this right here. First high, we got out of our wedge. We peaked here, not quite there, but we came down. We retested a zone. This zone. We got a little bit of history here. It says we just need to give it a kiss before we take off again. So those are all possibilities. So we go to 15, minus 60% off that. That's where I would do a rebuy if I was going to do anything, if we went to 15. So 15 times 0.40, $6 would be a rebuy if we went to 15. And I sold at 15 and I got the top at 15, all those other speculative things.
But I guess I'm wondering, like, if it goes to 15 and then it ends up having another breakout. So if it could go right now, where the price is at now, 60 cents or whatever, and we could see it going to 15, coming back down to $6, then going back up again.
And then we go that way. I would speculate we go that way a little while longer. Now that's speculating, right?
Like around $6 or whatever for a while, and then going back up beyond the 15. That's what I'm wondering. But
that's why you literally look at the charts. You know, you see where it's going to go.
I see a lot of people, and so I'm still learning about all this stuff, and people have way different opinions on it. Not everybody subscribes to the same school of thought, I should say.
No.
And being that XRP seems to be different, it actually kind of does beat a little bit to its own drum compared to some of these other ones.
I think that actually might be part of the plan.
Well, that's what I'm thinking, and the fact that it is such a special coin, right? And what the potential use case of what we think, what I think it's going to be used for, when that utility is fully utilized, maybe it won't follow the traditional charting, as I guess is what I'm speculating.
Yes, everything's going to break away. Bitcoin's going to do its own thing. XLM's going to do its own thing. XRP is going to do its own thing. It's going to happen now? No. We're still in the middle of a bull run. We don't have our utility running right now. Let's go back to Alan real quick, and then we'll call it a day here. Let's go back to Alan.
Yeah.
The billionaires are just getting in.
Yeah.
Okay, so if they're just getting in, I mean, companies, etc., are just getting in. You know, they might not be ready for XRP in the same way they're ready for Bitcoin. However,
Right. Well, it's set up
for
for
the
Bitcoin.
utility, right? But this is where Bitcoin and XRP like literally are forks in the road, quite literally, right? Because is XRP a store of wealth? No way. XRP is a tool. Bitcoin store of wealth because it's artwork. Hangs on a wall. Sorry, Bitcoin maxis, don't get pissed at me. It's like artwork. Hangs on a wall. It looks nice. One day I'll pass it down to my kids, or I'll sell that mother plucker for a fat check of XRP. Right? So I can pass that along, and they can utilize for something else. Right? That's really the difference. Right? The utility in Bitcoin is it's confident of the confidence that it has now. Countries use it now, openly now. Do countries openly on Main Street use XRP like they do Bitcoin in El Salvador? Right? That's what we're looking for. We're looking for that, right?
Well, they're
At
using
the level,
it, but two different things. So yeah, they're using.
well,
they're
I mean, okay, but
Yeah.
utility down there. Every Ma and Joe down in El Salvador allegedly has the ability to use Bitcoin to acquire things with it. Is that going on right now with XRP? Is XRP supposed to be a cross? Again, though, this is the difference, right? Cross-border payment system. You won't see what's happening because it's in the background, right? So what does that tell you? It ain't for you, and it ain't
a true
it ain't for
utility.
you, and
coin.
it ain't, well, it ain't for you, and it ain't for me. It's for business. You're not business, right? And so, and the only time that you become business is when business needs what you have, and you put that in a liquidity pool and get a little check every month, right? So, which is arguably a good thing. You know, I like getting a check every month, not universal basic income type stuff, but I'm talking from my investments. I love that. That's called cash flow. But it's not really good until you get your original principal back, right? So if you stuck in 20,000 XRPers, XRPs, well, then you would have an XRP conference going down in Vegas. Check it out. Yeah, but I'm just saying, if you threw those XRPs in the liquidity pool, then you're not whole. You're not really raking in the cash, in my opinion, until you get all your XRP back, right?
Yeah.
And then that's still in there working the juice and the flow. And now we're 3 minutes past the line. I'm sorry.
Well, this has been a very informative. I'm going to have to watch back the recording on this, because I've learned a lot. And again, I want to play around with those tools too, to kind of see if I can recreate that stuff myself.
It takes time. That's where you talk about investing that time and doing your research.
Yeah,
you should. Everybody should. After you figure out what coin you're into,
yep.
Go do it. Go see where the price is, and try not to look at the digits.
Yeah.
Go look at the charts.
Yeah. That could be a little bit overwhelming too, the chart thing.
Is.
But it's helpful. It's helpful for someone. I see, like I said, I've seen other folks do it, and they're, super smart at doing the charts and stuff, and they give their ending and what they think. But it is very helpful to have someone, which, next time we do this, guys, I encourage you to ask questions, join the conversation. Simon's open to answering questions and helping us learn this. So, I tried to ask my question.
Ask away. Ask away, because that's how we learn.
Because I'm working it all out in my mind. I'm still dipping a toe, and I'm learning as much as I can. And I think every little bit helps and helps me put it together. And I just want to reiterate the free your mind from those invisible chains, and give everybody a little vote of confidence, and let them know that you can do it. We got this together if we continue to lift each other up and keep each other grounded, we can come out the other side of this in a very positive light.
Thank you
I
for
think.
saying grounded, because that's what doing your research does, and that's what
Yeah.
studying a chart does. It helps to keep you grounded and level-headed.
Yeah.
After you go back crap crazy of going, why I don't know what these words mean in these companies and these partnerships. I don't know what the hell a candlestick is. I'm tired of this. I'm going to bed.
Right. It's not. I mean,
fun.
it's definitely. It's like we said. It's not for the weak. It's not
This
for
ain't for
sissies.
this ain't for sissies, man. This ain't for
but-
sissies.
Yeah. So anyway, well, it's been a great conversation. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for showing us that. Thank you to everyone
welcome,
that's stopping by the Dipito show. And if you please would help us out, it would help us greatly if you would subscribe to our new YouTube channel at Dipito. We also have the at Dipito show on X Spaces or on X and on Rumble at Dipito, and help us grow our audience and share out the recording of these and like and share and subscribe and all that stuff. We would appreciate it. And
Yes.
any
Thank you,
finals?
everybody. Thank you, everybody, for showing up. Appreciate the love and the questions, and everybody stopping by today, and that will watch this video in the near future. And like, share, subscribe, comment, whether you like it or not. Throw it down.
Get ready
These are
for
the
the
deuces.
super cool exit song. See you later,
Exit
guys.
song.
Yeah.